everyone, this is Kristie with AG Takes Over. I'm glad you're here. I just put the kiddo down, so hopefully she's not going to scream mid-video. But I wanted to share, I'll keep this short, but I wanted to share a really cool kind of upcycling project that I did recently. By the way, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Leave comments and give it a thumbs up if you like this video, all that good stuff. But I am just going to dive in. So if you have watched my channel for a while, you know I like a good DIY project, which is like restoration of dolls, but also like upcycling things. And for some reason, I keep doing this with our generation stuff. So I've recycled 2 diners and 1 horse stable and now their Jeep. So there's an account, NA Dollies. They also have, it's an AGIG account and an Instagram account, and I'm linking both in the description. I am also going to share a few pictures from their account to give full credit. I don't know if they got the inspiration for this from someone else, but I got my inspiration from them, so I want to give credit where credit's due. Anyway, I was scrolling through AGIG recently and I was like, oh my God, that bright, typically like bright pink Jeep that that our generation sells, that has a roof rack and a surfboard on it. It's like $65 or something, which I wouldn't get because, one, we already have the red convertible from American Girl and we have some scooters and I just don't want a pink car. So I would not have gotten it, but they had painted it, as you can see, and it looks amazing. So seeing that, I saved the pictures and I was like, all right, I'm going to start the hunt for one of these cars, but cheap. So I found one for $20, not too far from me, like a little, like 40 minutes from me. Made arrangements to pick it up. Oh, and the lady was like, sent me a message and said, I don't know if you'll want this scooter, but I'm setting it outside, and if you want it, you can just have it for free. And it's a Journey Girls scooter that has a little piece of the handlebars broken off, but it was free, so of course I picked it up, and my little one is thrilled, so bonus. And then Joann Fabric was having their Labor Day sale, so we got 60% off. We did 2 separate purchases, my wife and I. So we got 60% off the masking tape and 60% off of the spray paint. And I just want to quickly talk. I'm going to throw some pictures up here and some video while I'm talking, but I just want to quickly walk you through what I did and what not to do. So initially I turned it over and I was like, check out all these screws. I want to take all of them off because I want to pull as much of this apart so I can just spray paint it all separately and then put it back together. Because in an ideal world, that's possible. And that's what the other account, Noor is her name, or their, I don't know, is their name. Noor, that I got the inspiration from, said, yeah, take everything apart. And then I unscrewed everything and I was like, how? You know when things are like, there's like plastic with a little lip, so once you like push something through, it's meant to catch, kind of like a wall anchor. Everything was assembled on the bottom of this Jeep that way. So like it was all meant to go together and never meant to be taken apart. So you'd have to have like 7 people all putting pressure on at the exact right moment and all lifting up, which is not going to happen. So I screwed everything back together and went, tape it is. And I started with this tape. I'm going to show you a picture of it because I don't want you to buy this tape. I thought it was a good idea. I had regular masking tape at home. I had a little bit of blue painter's tape at home, but I thought, well, this says very crisp lines. I'll use this. It's not sticky enough at all. Like it was just coming off, and I had put a lot of work in already, like wrapping everything up, and I was like, are you freaking kidding me? So I ended up resorting to masking tape, which was fine. I covered the one that was inspiration. They had somehow managed to get the chairs out. Bless them. I could not do that. But I also liked them cream colored. So I left the chairs in and I just put paper over it and then taped all around. Basically, the advice is tape everything that you don't want to be painted, duh, And for me, that meant cover the dashboard, cover the floor mats, cover the windshield on both sides, cover all of the tires, the rear view mirrors or the side mirrors, whatever, and the chairs, obviously, the seats. So cover everything that you don't want. I used a combination of cardboard and paper and masking tape, and that worked, but that painter's tape, this specific one, and it has a number on there, so it's easy to know which one not to use, I did not find sticky enough, and it was a pain in the butt, and I ended up having to not redo it, but like I ended up switching kind of midway through. And then I did 3 coats. There were parts of it that I just couldn't, like down near where the floorboards are, I couldn't get to it. And there were a couple of spots where when I took everything off, I was like, oh shoot, there's a little bit of pink still showing through. And I know it's not the end of the world, but I don't Photoshop. So whatever, little editing I do with filters is all that happens. So I'm not going to do any color fill to fill in those things. So my wife said, why don't you, can you just spray some of the spray paint into a container and take your tiny brush and go on that? And that's what I did this morning. So I just went to the recycle bin, got out a soda bottle and went out in the backyard and sprayed some spray paint in there enough that I saw it kind of pool in the bottom and painted all the little spots that I'd missed. And it was a perfect match, which was great, because otherwise how was I going to do that? So that's one tip. You can totally spray the paint into a little container, do it outdoors, obviously, and paint from that while it's still wet. I painted the hubcaps because all of that was pink, and I just thought there's no way I just covered the whole wheels. So I didn't want to paint green, which is the color I picked. I didn't want to paint green what was already like a silver colored plastic. So I covered the whole wheels, and then I hand painted with a dark gray and a tiny brush and a few coats, all of the hubcaps. And then the one that I had seen, the pictures that I showed you earlier of Noor's, looks like they left the pink things, like the equipment panel or whatever on the dashboard. And I did not want to leave it pink. So I picked that same dark gray and just little tiny brush, steady hand, patience. So I think that turned out really well. Another tip was for scraping off little bits that inevitably get where you don't want them to. I did use a magic eraser and tried to just be really precise. Instead of doing big motions, just cut a little tiny piece and get in there. And I did kind of find whatever scraping tool and scrape some of the excess paint off, but you just want to be really careful. The paint I got says it does bond to plastic, but I'm not putting it to the test with my toddler. This was for us, the adult collectors in the house. I'm sure it would get scratched up. I don't care what they say on their bottle, on their can. And then the last thing, you have to keep the roof bar or roof rack off, because American Girl dolls and our generation dolls are a little bit differently sized, and these girls cannot sit in there. AG dolls cannot sit in there with the roof rack on. So took the roof rack off, it pops right off, so that's no problem. And if you want to put it back on, it matches a more neutral color since it's, it's not pink. And then the last thing, and this is a tip, but I'm also still kind of working on it. It's not I'm not 100% satisfied with my solution, is the front of the lights or the front headlamps are heart-shaped. I get it. It's our generation. That's their thing, their little heart logo, but I like that about as much as I would like a star-shaped one on an AG. Just make them round. I don't know. Why does it have to be a heart? Because I'm going for realism. So I have a few ideas, but I wanted to put some, I just did this last night. So I wanted to put something together really quickly, and I just cut out tape, cut out paper, actually grabbed an envelope. I cut out an envelope in a circle shape, and then I went around the outside with a black Sharpie marker so that they would be big enough to cover the heart shape. And then when it's dark out and the lights are on, you would still see the light shining through. And it looks really cool in the dark when the light shines through, because the texture of the like screen kind of squares on the actual plastic headlamps shines through the paper, and so you get that sense of it. But when there's no when it's light out, they just look really one-dimensional and flat and like pieces of paper stuck on there. So I'm not thrilled about that. First, I just had the paper with the black Sharpie around it, and then I took a mechanical pencil and just did like a grid across to give it some texture, which looks a little better, but still, I have a lot of ideas. I could do vinyl, but I don't feel like digging the silhouette machine out, and I don't know how great a job I would do just cutting a circle trim around it, but vinyl would look better than the black Sharpie. Grace said like maybe the black foam, like the crafting foam, but again, freehanding it, I'm not sure how great a job I would do. I could try to find some mesh or some like specialty paper that kind of has more texture to it. I think that would help. The fact of the matter is they're kind of giant headlamps because I needed to cover up these heart shapes. So it is a little like, it's just a little weird looking, but they're not, I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's just kind of the weak link of things. The backside looks great. And so a couple things about that. I had some little stickers from Bullet Journal sticker books, and I put some things on there like bumper stickers, and I think that looks cute. You can see pictures. One says shop at the farmer's market, and the other one says adventures. But I covered up the Our Generation license plate that I think just says like I love OG or something. And I went to the Ohio, because I'm from Ohio, I went to the Ohio license plate website where you can like type in vanity plate things to see if they're available. And when you type them in, it will pull up a preview. So you can save that image. And then I put it in a Google Doc and then clicked on the set image size. So you can see there's probably a bajillion ways to do this. I'm just telling you what I did in case you're interested. I clicked on get image size, and then it is about 1.9 inches or maybe 2 inches wide and 0.75 high, or a smidge higher than that, like 0.76 or 77 or something. So that's the rough dimensions of it. So I resized it to be little and printed it out on cardstock, and it looks so cute. It looks so much more authentic. So you can see that here. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think it was adorable because I got the Jeep for $20, and then hold on, let me do quick math. I think it was like $760, $775 because I got the tape, which I didn't end up needing anyway, and the spray paint for like $775 because they were 60% off. The gray paint I already had, the paintbrush I already had, an envelope and a Sharpie I already had. Really, that was it. Paper to print out things and little stickers, like was all stuff I had around the house. The only things I bought were the Jeep, the spray paint, and this pointless tape. So yeah, like $27.75. And the thing is, a lot more than that new, and now it looks cool, and it looks like a real Jeep, not like a one that would be very hard to find that's pink with heart-shaped headlamps. Anyway, so here are some pictures featuring 3 of our dolls of color, because it's Dolls of Color Month. I hope that you are inspired to do this. Thank you, Noor from NA Dollies, or NA Dolls, for the inspiration and for kind of walking me through things and being so kind to send me pictures so that I could get a sense of what you did. And ours did not turn out exactly alike. That wasn't the goal, but I think they both look fantastic. I would say, and I know I'm kind of skewed because I'm not really afraid of projects like this, but this is not advanced level. Like, it doesn't require any special tools. It's not an expensive project. I think you could do it. And if you're interested and you want any more like step by step than I've given here, just email me. I keep my email in the description, so you can always find it there. But it's just agtakesover@gmail.com. So reach out if you um, get stuck or you're planning to do this. I think it was a lot of fun, and I'm super excited for the girls. I also have a doll collector friend who lives local, and she came over yesterday, and I was telling her about it. This is the project I'm going to do, and she was like, "Oh yeah, everybody in my family has Jeeps." And we walked out, and there's her Jeep in the driveway, and I was like, "You totally need to get one, and then the girls can go mudding." I do not do, but I was like, they can go off-roading or other such words that I've heard but don't have personal experience with. So anyway, that's it. I will put, since this was kind of a tutorial, like a talk you through it tutorial, I will put a tutorial playlist on the left and a video selected just for you on the right, so that if you want to binge, you can. And if you want to know when I'm going to post my next video, just click the notification bell so you'll know. All right, thanks.